When these young people step off the bus, they're entering a foreign land.
Most of them are from Somalia. Their families left Somalia because of fighting in the early 90s, late 80s, and then their families fled to Kenya, where they stayed maybe a decade longer. So a lot of these kids were even born in Kenya, but they never had any permanent residency there because their families were refugees.
We put in this refugee camp, then after that, they select our names to come to America.
Now they live in Nashville.
We're gonna have to walk uphill to begin with. You might be a little chilly, a little cold. Well, I will cure that for you.
So what's foreign to them isn't this country. It's the wild woods of Montgomery Bell State Park.
As soon as we get up to the top of the hill, you will be nice and warm.
Their guide for the day is state naturalist Randy Hedgepeth.
Our plan for today is to show you a little bit of the park. And I'm gonna show you some trees and maybe some birds and history as well.
Growing up in the U.S. and especially in Tennessee, trees might seem kind of commonplace, but not for these kids.
That is a white oak.
Well, these trees are really tall. And I never seen this much trees in my life. We see more cars, we see more buildings, and less trees most of the time.
A young lady in the front expressed a little bit of concern that these trees, they're so tall, so spindly, they're gonna fall on us. Well, as long as the wind is not blowing, you're pretty safe. And you have to hope that they have more roots than this one did. See, this one only had roots on one side. So when the wind blew out of the north, it unfortunately met the ground.
I didn't know that trees fall over and die. I thought they stay up for like ever.
Growing down in the bottom there, those large trees, we have a designated state tree in Tennessee. It's called the Tulip Poplar, and those are tulip poplars. They're the tallest growing living thing in eastern North America, capable of getting over 200 feet tall.
Some of them said, are any of these trees poisonous? They have a lot of misconceptions about the outside, and if you don't know something, then you're afraid of it. So a lot of what we do is we demystify the outdoors.
The spring beauties back there, little taters, if anybody didn't bring your lunch. They have little tubers that are just like little potatoes.
But it's not just trees that are new to these kids. Everything out here is a first-time experience.
This is spice bush. It's one of the first shrubs to bloom in the year. And the twigs smell like spice.
I think hiking was cool. I see like things I didn't see my whole life. And I like smelling the plants.
Seeing the little acorns or the little trees and the little plants and the smell of it, you know, it was really cool.
But not as cool as the water flowing through one of the creeks.
We touched the water and it was really cold, and we touched the little green stuff. It felt like slime.
When you step on a wet rock, it's actually like ice, like a rock with ice. It's slippery, so that's something new I know.
Today's adventure is a collaborative effort between state parks, Catholic charities, and Nashville Inner City Outings, a program designed to get people who have limited access to nature a chance to enjoy the outdoors.
We're looking for volunteers to do all kinds of the different things that go along with taking the kids outside. I really feel like there are certain things that every child should experience. Climbing a tree, throwing rocks in a creek, skipping stones, catching a fish. There's just a lot of things that we took for granted that isn't part of childhood anymore.
Vines are the freeloaders of the natural world. So, how did the vine get up there? Did the vine crawl from the ground to the top of the tree? That would be a very creepy vine. I wouldn't want any of those near my home. No, it didn't crawl up there. The tree and the vine are the same age. When the tree was small, the vine growing beside it latched onto the top of the tree. As the tree grew, the vine grew. They have been friends since kindergarten, and still today they're together.
Like the relationship between tree and vine, the hope is that by bringing these kids out here today, friendships will be formed that will last lifetimes.
A quote that I heard a long time ago is, you don't protect what you don't love what you don't know, and you don't know what you're not taught. And that is just kind of sums up what we're trying to do. We're trying to expose them to the outdoors so maybe they'll grow to love it and take their children out.
Judging by the reaction of these young people, it's an idea that's taking root.
I'll probably bring out my kids or something and go hiking. I think it's really cool just to leave the house and go for like an hour or something in this forest. It's beautiful, and the nature, you know, just makes you like feel amazing.
There's a lot of water, nature. Most people, they don't really care about it, and I want to be the one caring about it.
This is actually a privilege for me to be here. I'm gonna keep on hiking. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on hiking.